All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly divine the word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa Akwati. So what I want to go into right now is basically, you know, especially if you knew, really if you knew, but for you brothers and sisters out there that's, already been in the fold, you know as well that uh, Israel have enemies. And one of our main enemies is Esau, as well as with these other nations. Okay, but what I want to go into is how in the book of Esther, right, you have Haman, all right, which this guy Vocab Malone been coined Haman, all right, with good reasoning. All right, so you have Haman, right, and I'm a basically parallel with how Esau is today, because it's nothing new under the sun. Israel had enemies in the past. We have enemies now. Esau was our enemy in the past. Esau is our enemy now. All right. Uh, Esau, scheme, plot, and plan wicked devices and things for Israel back then, and certain things happened to him to his destruction, and that's what's gonna happen in this time. So, just Lord willing to be edifying, okay? And let's go to the scriptures. All right. So now when you get Psalms 10, verse 1, it says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined." See? And that's the thing about Esau, okay? Because when it's referring to the wicked, that's who it's referring to. Because you have people who do wickedly, but you have the wicked. And that's Esau, Edom, starting with their top elite banking families. All right. The shadow government, basically, the rulers of this world. Okay, like what's that? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. And when it's going into the poor, that's speaking about Israel. And it's not because of money or eating out of garbage cans, even though we are the low man on the totem pole. You do have some Israelites that's doing good, but as a nation, we're the lowest. Okay. So when it's speaking about the poor, it's talking about Israel, because we don't have an army, we don't have a seat at the Council of Foreign Relations, and things of these natures. So continuing on, it says, "Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined." See? All right. Verse 3, "For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts." And this is Esau Edom. I mean, think about this guy, Yovel Harari. All right. Think about how he taught. Okay. But see, it's not just him. He's a representation of the elites of Esau Edom. All right. This guy Klaus Schwab. Okay. See, Yovel Harari is nothing. He's nothing but that representation. Okay, so when you hear him, you're basically hearing what Esau Edom in the hierarchy is saying and thinking. All right. Verse 5, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. See, he has said in his heart, "I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity." Adversity, and the scripture tell you, roughly paraphrasing that, though they think their houses shall continue forever. See, because when you listen to Esau Edom, what is he talking about? 2050, 2100, going to Mars, going to this place in 2050, you know. So he think he never will be moved, okay? But let's get this before we really kind of get into the lesson, for real. Now, when you go to Obadiah, all right, what do it say? starting at verse 3, it says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, see, and what is the American logo? That bald eagle, all right? And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh, okay? See? So, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring this man down, okay? So now, when we get into it, let's start here at because the thing about it is the Lord made Israel separate from amongst all these nations, all right? And all these nations are our enemies, okay? But Esau, Edom is our arch enemy, okay? So when you go to Jeremiah 10 and verse 2, it says, thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. But the point I want to make is what the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. Because if you know anything about the scriptures, okay, you know that we've been in many captivities. And every time we was among whatever nation we was captive of, we would learn their ways, fall into that, spiritual fornication, worshiping their gods, okay, which are no gods, okay? So, the Lord told us not to learn the way of the heathen, and that's the problem with Israelites today. We have been in America so long among Esau and the rest of these heathen nations, but mainly Esau, is that Israel is basically turned out. That's why you see us doing things that wouldn't normally be our custom, okay? You see? So now, let me back that up with when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 5. What do it say? Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. See? Okay. So the laws which was given to the Israelites through Moses, okay, this was our wisdom and understanding for us to follow and implement on planet Earth, okay? And this would be what? Our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. Continuing on, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. And this is why we're in the condition we're in. Okay, because now in the eyes of the other nations, we are not an understanding people. We're not a wise people. Okay, we are basically fools, downtrodden, godless people. Okay, verse 7, for what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? See, and these laws, statutes, and judgments, Esau, Edom is contrary to, okay, as well as the rest of these nations, which are our enemies. Okay, they're contrary, but just getting on Esau, Edom, because what did Ezekiel 35 tell us? Okay, prophesy against Mount Seir. All right, getting on Esau, Edom, he's contrary to it. That's why, just for an example, just think about the ABC people. Okay, he's into protecting them. Okay, putting them over, heterosexuals. Well, in our law, they were supposed to be put to death. See, he's contrary, amongst other things, putting the woman over the man. Okay, certain foods, he make a delicacy. Okay, in our law, it would be filth. We're not supposed to touch it. But in Esau world, it's a delicacy. You see what I'm saying? So he's adverse. Okay. He's adverse to who? The law, statutes, and commandments, which ultimately is being adverse to who? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Okay? So now I want to start off in because see, this what was explained to King Xerxes from Haman. All right? Now, Haman, vocab Haman Malone. But no, Haman, okay? So when you go to Esther, all right, chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 1, it says what? After these things did King Ahasuerus, and this is basically King Xerxes, okay? King Xerxes promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him, and all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence him. And Mordecai was basically Esther's uncle, I believe, yeah. And they were both what? Israelites, okay? All right. So verse 3, so Mordecai didn't bow down, okay? See? Verse 3, then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? And what do this remind you? It remind you of who? Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, which is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three holy children, okay? When they didn't bow down to Nebuchadnezzar, okay? See? Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And it's the same thing Esau Edom does, okay? Especially in the times to come. If you don't bow down and take that charagma, okay, what's going to happen? Well, he's going to be coming down on you with wrath. That's even documented in what? Revelations 12 chapter, okay? Where, he's going to come down with great wrath because he know he have a little time, roughly paraphrasing, okay? Same thing. When you don't follow Esau laws, legislations, that's even going against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, when you put out the truth, okay, speaking according to the scriptures, okay, guess what? You're not bowing down when you follow the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and not bowing down to Esau. Well, guess what? You're not bowing down and you're not reverencing him. So guess what's going to happen? Okay, he's going to be filled with wrath. Okay, now let me throw this disclaimer out here. You don't want to be doing things in the law that can get you locked up or in trouble. That's not what I'm saying. But now when it's concerning the charagma, yeah. But, when it's concerning like the ABC people, you don't want to be out here, putting them down and things of that nature, doing anything violent that was in our law to people, because we're not sovereign. This is not what we're supposed to do. Okay. Now, verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him that the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. So, he wanted to destroy not only Mordecai, but who? The Jews, okay? See? Don't this remind you of somebody? Esau Edom, okay? And it's a good reason, why Haman is feeling like this. And I'm gonna get into it. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast that is the lot before Haman from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Xerxes, there is a certain people scattered, okay, abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. All right. And their laws are diverse from all people. See, going back to Deuteronomy 4. All right. All right. See, the law separated us from these other nations. Okay. Continuing on in verse 8. Neither keep they the king's laws, therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasuries. And see, Esau, Edom, these are his tactics, okay, when it's concerning especially Israel, and mainly who? The Jews, which is the tribe of Judah, because he know that's where our Lord sprang from, the tribe of Judah. Okay. What's that? According to Hebrews, the 7th chapter. Okay. And he know that's the head tribe. All right. Verse 10. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. See? The Jews' enemy. Now, first, what I want to do is, matter of fact, let's just do this real fast. When you go to Psalms 83, all right. Starting at verse 2, it say, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. See, that pride. They have taken crafty counsel, see, against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, the Israelites. We are the hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom. See, Edom listed number 1. Okay. And the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagareans. Okay. Gabal and Ammon and Amalek. Okay. Remember Edom and Amalek. Okay. Because Amalek come from Edom. All right. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. See? So all of these enemies, all of these nations are our enemies. Starting with who? Esau, Edom. Even when you go to verse 7, you see Amalek, and Amalek come from Edom. And matter of fact, let's segue to, all right, because I want to do something real fast for edification's sake. All right. Now it said what? In verse 10, it says, and the king took the ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy. Now, let's look this up. Let's look up Agagite. All right. Because that's what Haman was. It says, I will overtop, said of Haman, Haman the Agagite. Now, when you go down, it says what? Haman equals Amalekite. See? Amalek. All right. This is where Haman stems from. Amalek. All right. Now, when you go to Genesis 36, okay? Salaki, if you can hear that music outside. You know, Jake pulled up. Now, when you go to Genesis 36 and 10, what do it say? These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau. Reuel, the son of Bashemath, the wife of Esau. Okay. And the sons of Eliphaz, okay, were Teman, there go Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. Verse 12, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. Okay, so meaning she was a lesser wife of Eliphaz, which is Esau's son. And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. See? So Amalek stems from Esau. And we know that Haman basically is an Edomite. All right? He's an Edomite. Okay, he comes from Amalek, the Agagite, which is Amalek, and Amalek is what? Basically the grandson of Esau. Okay, and what did the Lord now when you go, what did the Lord say about Amalek? When you go to Exodus 17, it says, Exodus 17, all right, and this is basically after the war that Moses had with the Amalekites, all right. You can read it on your own time. I'm going to just get straight to the point. Exodus 17:16, for he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right. From generation to generation, the Lord will have war, okay, with Amalek, okay, which Haman is Amalek. When you get to them Amalekites, okay, you basically talking about those small hats, I believe. Yep. All right. So this is Haman. Nothing new under the sun. All right. So now what I want to do is let's get a little bit more in depth. All right. Now, when you go to the editions of Esther, all right. Wait, it might be. It's different on this one. Let me see. Yep. Okay, so when you go to editions of Esther, all right, 4, and I'm going to start at verse 1. The copy of the letters was this: the great king Xerxes, all right, writeth these things to the princes and governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia in 107 and 27 provinces. So 127 provinces. After that, I became Lord over many nations and had dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purpose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable and open for passage to the utmost coast, to renew peace, which is desired of all men. Now, when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, Haman, now that's Haman, okay? Haman, I'm going to just call it what it is. Haman, that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant goodwill and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second palace in the kingdom, declare unto us that in all nations throughout the world there were scattered a certain malicious people. Scattered. There you go. Just like in Esther. This is the additions to Esther. All right. And who was those people that was scattered that he was calling malicious? Okay. The Israelites. All right. Matter of fact, just for edification's sake. Okay. When you go to Deuteronomy 28, because this is an addition. He's not talking about nobody else, man. He's still talking about the Jews. He's still talking about Israel. When you go to Deuteronomy, all right, 28 and 64, it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. See, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. See, learn not the way of the heathen, okay, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood, a stone, and stone. See, okay. And this is in the curses in Deuteronomy 28. Okay, so now let's go back to the editions of Esther. All right, that was for edification's sake. All right. Verse 4 again declared, editions Esther 4, verse 4, declare unto us that in all nations throughout the world there were scattered a certain malicious people that had laws contrary to all the nations. All right. Contrary, man. Okay? Contrary to all nations, and continually despise the commandments of the king, so as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward. See? Seeing that we understand that this people alone is certainly in opposition unto all men, differing in strange manner of their laws, and evil affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. And see, this is what's happening today. This is what Esau's saying today. When he see men teaching the word, waking up Israel, he's saying what? This is wickedness. This is contrary. Okay? When you say don't eat pork, don't commit adultery, don't be down with the ABC people. Okay? When come back to the law, statutes, and commandments to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what you really is saying, okay, shun Esau. Okay? That's what you're really saying. Even though, you see a red light, you stop at a red light, you don't murder, okay? You don't you follow Esau laws because that's the laws of the land, and that's what we really supposed to do, okay? But at the same time, you're being contrary if you don't want to eat shrimp, all right? Or you don't want to really commit adultery, if you're not being a nigga. If for you ladies, if you're not being a thought, okay? When you see us getting in order, okay? Esau and all the rest of these nations always know when we were in order, it's game over for them, okay? And this is why he wants to cancel the truth. This is why now you're hearing that he want to have artificial intelligence, go in basically and censor what can be termed as misinformation or disinformation. Okay, that's mainly because Esau has got a whiff that these scriptures is going out and is waking up Israel. All right. And see, by doing that, what happened? An evil affected to our state, working all mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. And what is that? What is that saying? They want this new world order to get off the ground, which it's already wrote, okay, through Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that is not going to happen, okay? They might get a little jump off, but what the scriptures say, in the fullness of his belly, okay, roughly paraphrasing, basically, when he is about to be full, he's going to go down, okay? But see, us coming back to our power is contrary to Esau. And matter of fact, when you go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, all right, and I'm going to just start at verse 10. It says, and this is basically, let me read verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright, our life is short and tedious, and in death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. See? Now this is the ungodly reasoning with themselves. Who is that? Esau, Edom. This is not no Jake's talking. All right. And I encourage you to read this chapter on your own, but I'm going to jump to the point. All right. Because this what they're going to say. One of the conclusions they're going to come to. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10, it says, let us oppress the poor, righteous man. And remember when we was in Psalms 10, what it say? They want to oppress the poor. That's speaking of Israel. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. See, the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the prophets. Okay. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worse. See, and this is Esau, Edom. Okay. He make his laws the justice. All right. This ain't Jake talking. Jake can't make the law. Jake don't use the laws to their advantage, to oppress somebody. No, that's Esau. All right. Just like Haman, wanted to write letters to all these provinces to oppress and kill Jews. All right. Esau does the same thing with his laws. You know, you got 3-strike laws, and they write certain laws and legislations to keep Israel in derision. Okay. Verse 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. Okay. And see, in this is in Esther, what did it say? What did it say? All right, let's go back. It said what? Seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in a opposition unto all men, differing in strange manner of their laws, and evil affected, okay? Evil. Salaki, I was looking at something. Let me see if I want to get that. Yep. Salaki. Evil, okay, affected to our state, working all mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. See? That's what Haman was saying. So going back to Wisdom of Solomon, okay. Verse 12, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, okay, because he is not for our turn. And who would say let us wait for the righteous? The wicked, okay? Why would you want to harm a righteous person, okay, unless you're wicked? And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. He professes to have the knowledge of the Most High. And what do? We are doing that. Okay. And he calleth himself the child of the Lord. And what are we doing? We're standing up according to Ezekiel 37. We are those dry bones that's, have that breath blown into us, and we have came to life. Lord willing, we endure. Okay. All right. Again, verse 13, he professes to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Most High. Right. Didn't the scripture say in the land where we have been put to shame, roughly paraphrasing, we're going to be in a land where it said you are not my people. Okay. You will be my people. You will be called my people. Okay. Verse 14, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men. Right. Contrary. What did it say in Deuteronomy 4? Okay. These are the law, statutes, and commandments will be what? Our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. See, for his life is not like other men. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits, right? Y'all fake Jews. See, that's what we're saying. Y'all the fake ruler. Y'all fake royalty. Queen of England, all of that, that's fake royalty. The Israelites are the real royalty. Okay? You see, those small hats in our land, those are not the real Jews. They're counterfeits. We are the real Jews. Okay? We're the real Israelites, not you people. Okay? Now, disclaimer, we know that Israel is the sand of the sea, and we're going to look like many nations. But as a whole, as their nation, Amalek and Esau, who claim that they're Israelites and Jews and this and that, they're the nation of Edom and Amalek, and them, they can never be Jews because they don't come from the line of Jacob. Okay. Slakia. They don't come from Jacob. All right. See, verse 16 again, we are seen of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. Right. Because when you come into this marvelous light, you learn to put off things that you have been taught in this captivity. Again, Jeremiah 10:2, learn not the way of the heathen. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. And these are all things when we come into this marvelous light that we are doing. Okay, this is Esau, Edom speaking. This is the wicked. This is what they say when they see our videos. Okay, see brothers, teaching. Okay, doing things that's pleasing to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay, this is what Esau, Edom, and these wicked people are saying when they see sisters in this marvelous light. Okay, doing what's pleasing into Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Being modest, not being thoughts. Okay? When they see brothers not being thugs, making an honest living. Okay? Going out there week in, week out, teaching the word on the various internet platforms. This is what he's saying when we say, oh no, we're not going to eat the pork. Okay? We're going to fast. We're going to pray. Okay? Observe holy high days. This is what he's saying. See? And that's why he jumped into that Haman mode. Okay? Now, what I do want to get real fast. Now, when you go to Jeremiah 49 and verse 8, it says what? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. And see, just like Haman, okay, he got visited. All right. Esau is going to get visited. Now let's get it. Now when you read the book of Esther in its entirety, you know that the latter end of Haman was to get hung in the gallows. All right. But see, that was just like we read in Psalms 10. Let's get that again before I go there. Let's go back just for edification. When you go to Psalms 10 and 2, it says, the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Okay. So now, in them same wicked devices that Esau Edom imagined, just like in them same wicked devices that Haman imagined, okay, what happened? They gonna get taken, man. In them same wicked devices. Now, like I said, when you read the story, but I'm gonna just get to the point. All right. Esther chapter 7, verse 9, it says, and Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold, also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, okay, standeth in the house of Haman. And remember, Mordecai was Esther's uncle, okay, which they were Jews, okay, they were Israelites, okay, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. So they hang Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. See? So if in the spirit, Haman, he had brought Artaxerxes to wrath, okay, with his wickedness. And then, that same gallows that he, prepared for Mordecai, he got hung on. And just like Esau Edom, he's going to piss off. He done pissed off our king, okay? He been pissed off our king, okay? So guess what? That same gallows that he want to hang Israel on, he's going to be hung on, okay? So when you go to Psalms 21, all right, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. And who is the right hand of the Lord? Yahweh Shah, man. And who is those that hate thee? These other nations start with Esau Edom. That's why I went to Psalms 83. Okay. Verse 9, it says, thou shalt make them as a fiery oven. In the time of thine anger, the Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. See? Verse 11, for they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform. And this is the destiny for Esau Edom, just as it was the destiny for Haman. Okay? Now I want to get a couple more, and I'm going to close out when you stand in the book of Psalms. All right, let's go to 94. And I'm going to start at 21. It says, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous. See, Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. Okay. And condemn the innocent blood. Okay. But the Lord is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yeah, the Lord our power shall cut them off. See? And just like Haman was cut off, Esau, Edom, he's going to be cut off. What do it say? What is that? That might be Isaiah 14, where it say what? He's not going to leave their sons or their nephews. All right. Esau, Edom will be cut off. All right. Now let me get Psalms 37. I'm going to close out here. All right. Psalms 37. I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just. See, there go the wicked plotting against the just again. All right. And gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. See, just like Haman day was coming and it came, Esau, Edom, day is coming. All right. That's why I went to Jeremiah 49, where it said what? Now let me go back. I don't want to butcher it. Jeremiah 49, where it said what? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the land, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, that the time that I will visit him. And see, right now, what you're seeing in the earth with all these prophecies popping off, Esau is being visited. That's why his kingdom is falling. Okay. See? All right, back in Psalms 37. And I'm going to start at verse 14 again. The wicked have, verse 13 again, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. See, Jeremiah 49:8. All right. The wicked have drawn out the sword. See, and who was given the blessing of the sword? Esau, Edom. See, and have bent their bow to cast down the poor. There go the poor again, and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. See, this keep coming up that the wicked, okay, they're basically come against who? The poor, the needy, upright, righteous. See, those all referring to Israelites, beginning with the elect, okay? Verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart. See, so that same sword, because when they go into the sword, it's talking about what? The missiles. So the same missiles that Esau, Edom have built, even though the knowledge was given to him by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that's who putting them up to it. But why is it? Why is he doing that? Verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. See, so that same sword, them same missiles that Esau, Edom is making, well, that's what's going to destroy him. Okay. See, the same way he came into power through war is the same way he's going to come out of power. War. All right. So I just wanted to bring it out. Lord willing, it was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.